kick it off with a 5-star review.
Let's do it.
I haven't felt this way about a book since reading Avatar. Fourth Wing is truly addictive. The writing is so easy to read, and the themes at play aren't overly complicated. The romance is highly enjoyable. The world building is solid. We're dragons that have cool personalities and burn people to the ground for fun. And these people all go to a school for dragon riders where most of them die. It's great. 10 out of 10.
Okay, well, that's a way to start it off.
Yeah.
Alright, grab your tea, pull up a chair. Welcome to the lair. I'm Tabby.
And I'm Alex, and we are the faces of Cozy Booktique and Dragon Runner.
And this is From Lair to Library, at the podcast where we drag our favorite books to screen and see if they actually live up to the hype or if they deserve to get absolutely roasted by dragons.
And we will roast them like Tucker's turkey.
Yes, we will. Especially with this one, because they're fire dragons. Alright, let's kick it off. Favorite snack, drink this week?
My favorite, I think, has just been water this week, honestly. And then my Dr. Pepper at night. Yes. Hydration is always good to have. And then my snack has been cold pizza.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's always awesome.
He's home now, so I should be able to get back up to a normal eating schedule.
That's good. That's good. Because you were messed up there for a while.
Yep.
All right, let's see. This week for me, I also feel like it's been mainly water, with electrolytes and stuff in it. I'm in the process of going hard training.
Yep.
Got my sprint triathlon coming up on, August 16th. That's 3 weeks away?
Yeah.
Somewhere less than a month. Oh, I'm still sore from yesterday's training.
Kudos to you.
But then let's see. Food-wise, I think this week it had to have been, have you been to Kitchen Social?
No.
Oh my gosh. They have these street corn nachos that are to die for.
Where is this magical place?
Well, there's one by Polaris.
Okay.
That's where, because we went to Elm Creek yesterday for training,
Mm-hmm.
Half mile swim, 11-mile bike ride on hills. Does that for you. Getting those nachos were chef's kiss, highlight of my day yesterday.
I feel like that after my 30-minute Pilates session.
Oh, girl, I'll tell you what.
Good for you. There's no way I'd do it.
My butt. There is a reason that my other friend is in my phone as being the drill sergeant, because those hill trainings on a bike.
Yeah.
Kicking my butt, man.
I'm good.
All right. This week, what were your reads?
My reads this week, reading the book that we will talk about later next week.
Okay.
And I am still in the process of reading Lights Out, but it's pretty good. I'm liking it. I don't understand the whole mask kink, but I'm looking past that.
Girl, if you look it up on TikTok or something.
Oh, I know. I've seen it on TikTok. But I'm just
it's just not for you.
Yeah, it's not for me, but I like the book. The book's really cool. I like the book.
It works. Well, I've been kind of a reading machine this week. Because, I've been re-listening to the graphic audios for the Fourth Wing series. I literally just finished Onyx Storm yesterday again for my reread. But I also read The Pucking Deal by Ellie Young.
Okay.
I also read Second Chance Score by Rosie Knox. I read and then the second book is the one that we're doing next week that I just got done reading.
Okay, then I need to read that too, because I didn't know there was a second book out, and I didn't realize that was related to Meet Me at Midnight. I read that one and I loved it.
Right? Who would have thought a dating app where you literally can be anonymous if you want or whatever?
Right.
But it was so good.
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, it's the sisters. So her best friend and his sister. And then his friend Henry.
Okay.
That, you see those sparks that they kept mentioning with the Meet Me at Midnight. Yeah. That's the book for that we're talking about next week.
Okay.
That was my pick for that episode.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, right?
Oh, now I'm excited.
Look at this.
I think I added to my book this week.
All right. We'll make sure you add it to your TV.
Oh, yeah.
Once we're done with this. But that was this week's reads. I had quite a few. I've been working on, cleaning the house and stuff. So I take my little breaks outside with my dogs, read on the patio while they run the yard. There you go. And then listen to my Fourth Wing graphic audio while I'm inside working. I only got a couple weeks left till school starts again, so I'm trying to get stuff done.
Gotta get as much in as possible.
Exactly. All right. Let's kick this off with our original relationship with this book. Because this week is our Hype Train book.
Mm-hmm.
And, last week we mentioned we picked Fourth Wing.
Yes.
Fourth Wing series is what we're going to be bringing up in this episode. So, what was your original relationship like with this book?
I resisted it so much.
Why?
I don't know. It was everywhere. And I was like, I'm really tired of hearing about this shit. And I was like, dragons. Yeah. It's the same thing as everything else. That was my goal.
That was your original thing.
And I don't like doing things that are popular.
I know, girl. Trust me, I get it. Because I'm always dragging you along while I do the things that are popular.
I know.
So it's always me kind of pull you along. All right, well, me, I was the one who was like counting down the days for this book to come out. I was a midnight reader, up way too late reading this book. I devoured it. I
know you did.
I was so into it. It was so hard to go teach the next mornings because I was just like,
I was about to say, didn't this get released during the school year?
No, girl, I was on like little sleep at that point. That's why it was so exciting when graphic audio dropped it. And I was like, I'm getting this. I can listen to it on the way from work and home. So it was like the best thing ever. But yeah. So I was all on board. As soon as I started seeing things popping up on social media, I was like, this book sounds amazing. I had already read ACOTAR and I was like, I'm so game for this.
She bugged me for years about this book.
Mm-hmm.
The third one came out and I haven't even read it. Any of it. At all.
I know, girl. I'm telling you. I was excited when you finally jumped on board and said you'd read it. And I wasn't lying, was I? No. It should be. It is.
Okay. I didn't see the blue light and it gave me a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah, that's all.
It's like, we don't have to start this over, do we? Okay. All right. So, you hyping? I'm cynical.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's how we felt. Took her for forever to get me to read it, but here we are.
Hey, I broke you down and I got you to read it. That's what mattered.
She did. She's real annoying.
I can be that way. You're my bestie, girl.
That's true.
I know how to push every one of your buttons.
The curse of knowing each other forever.
Right.
All right. So, what were the triggers for it? Like, was it like visual or?
For me, it was definitely seeing things on social media, people hyping it up. It was like just like some of the posts, kind of drew me in. And then of course, they started talking about like all the different books that would come out. And girl, I jump on board. I'm as bad as you are on certain books with sprayed edges, when you're getting like special editions. I mean, I know for a fact, I don't actually have like the original cover. Mine, I waited and I got the Christmas edition one. So it's the red one. Oh, I love it. It is amazing.
Cover train.
I jumped on that.
But I was there when you bought that one.
As soon as it said it was coming out, I was like, I'm getting it. But that was kind of like my first initial aesthetic look to it was definitely.
I refused to buy it if it didn't have sprayed edges.
You and your sprayed edges.
I love my sprayed edges.
I know.
I have problems.
You do have a problem. I mean, I can't say anything because I'm also the first one. Like, as soon as I see an author, my favorite author is dropping a book or something, I'm pre-ordering it.
Yeah.
I just got my one pre-ordered. Came in the mail this week.
Oh,
and I just pre-ordered another one that comes out at the beginning of August.
Oh my gosh. I have so many things on pre-order. I even put them on my calendar so I was prepared for possible storm of why are there so many books being delivered to our house.
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
Because I pre-ordered them and I didn't know when they were coming out. I just closed my eyes and hit pay.
Pre-order. Yeah. That's what you gotta do. I mean, I jumped right on the hype as soon as she started announcing that something was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting for it. I think I was the first one to text you and be like, "Oh my gosh, she just announced it. Thrashing Day is coming out."
Well, yeah. So you texted me when it finally was announced.
Yes.
But I had actually seen that something was coming out months ago.
Yeah.
And
I think we all did, and we just didn't know what it was. We were all
and it was not book forward is what it said. And I'm like, do I wanna pre-order it? Do I not? Eventually decided I'll pre-order it. If for some reason when it gets announced, it's not something that I'm like, I need it, I'll just cancel it. It's not a big deal. And then you texted me that it got released, and I was like, okay, I'm keeping that pre-order.
Yep, pre-order that. And then as soon as I saw graphic audio was also pre-ordering for that releasing, I was like, oh, I'm getting that too. I want to hear that.
It's a good way to go at this point. And
I love it.
If I have to read a book or listen to a book that is not graphic audio, I'll do it, but it's not as fun.
I know. One of my favorite ways to go.
So you saw a lot of the TikTok stuff.
Yes.
I just scrolled right past it. As soon as they said fourth wing, I was like, nope. So
yeah.
I don't really have any of the elevator pitches. But you got all of them.
I did. It was very hyped up at the beginning. Trying to I guess they do it a lot of fantasy ones. So I'm like, oh, if you're a lover of this, you're gonna love this book coming out, kind of thing. And it really drew me in. I was like, okay, I can get on board with this. Talking about a war college where they get to ride dragons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this sounds really interesting. I'll jump on board. I'll give it a try and see what it's about. So I was very much kept drawing me in. I was like, okay. And the closer I got to release day, I was like, all right, I'm so excited to read this. Everyone keeps hyping this up it's going to be amazing. And it was. Yeah. It's pretty good. Oh, pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm so obsessed with it, girl.
I know you are.
I
just realized that when it came out and you were excited about it, I was just getting into ACOTAR.
Mm-hmm. Because I finally just got you to read that one, finally.
The first book was so hard, guys. But then she showed me graphic audio, and then I got through it fine. But I was completely and utterly obsessed with ACOTAR at the time, too.
I know, because you were all
Reese Sandus.
You're boo. And I'm up there going, no, I need my shadow daddy. I need to have Zayden.
Reese Sandus still my boo.
All up in that.
But yeah, I think that was another part of why you read this today.
Right.
I was so into ACOTAR.
You were so into ACOTAR at that point. I had already been I'd already read that. I already got over my obsession with it. And I was like, all right.
I'm not.
I am now on the fourth wing, and I'm all into this. All the theories, all the what people are saying.
The theories are cool. I like the theories.
So I was the hype up to it, to the actual reading of it. It was definitely, I feel definitely worth it. It was different than other books I'd read.
Okay.
So I feel it kind of stood apart from other books because I feel you get the whole where they're actually riding dragons. Dragons get to pick them kind of thing. And I was like, oh, this is a little different than most other books.
That's true.
Kind of thing. I was it's unique. And just the enemies to lover kind of thing just kind of drew me in. I was like, oh, what's happening here?
To lovers is always a great show.
It so is. I love that. Right. So this was just, I feel like it was very well written. It's like, I've read other fantasy books where when you read a fantasy book that you're going to have all that world building, that it's going to be like daunting with how much information is getting thrown at you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be really hard to read or to like understand the first time through.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to like reread it again to like make sure you have all the details. And I feel like this one was so well written that like it wasn't as hard to follow.
Okay.
It's like it was descriptive enough that you literally could like picture it in your head as you're reading it.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those where it was like, okay, and it was like the world building was there, but it was like, I feel like almost like a slower world building experience. So it's like you weren't having to absorb so much at once, but it was like you already knew kind of what was going on. It was easy to follow. It wasn't as like in your face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. No, that makes sense.
So I liked that a lot because I was like, I had just read ACOTAR where I'm like, I felt like so much was being thrown at you at once.
There was a lot getting thrown.
And so it was just like, whoa, overload. And then this one, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. Like it's like coming in pieces. It's not like all in your face at once kind of thing. It's like you're slowly building into it. And it's almost like, I want to say it's more like other ones you're kind of like, it's built up for you. You don't see it through like necessarily the character's eyes, but it's like trying to picture it for you. So like, what's going on kind of thing. But this one, I feel like you were almost getting it like you were Violet. Like you were getting it through her eyes and the world building is happening through her. So it was like slower pace as she was getting the information, you were getting the information.
Yeah, because she was new to it, but like she had obviously she had never been in the like academy.
Right. She never been like the writer's project area because she was always trained to be that scribe. So it was like a whole new experience. So like you were getting it through her eyes and it was like, oh, like the world building was slower. So like you were getting it as she was getting it and they made it nicer. It almost made you connect with her more.
Yeah, you can like feel how she's feeling.
Yeah.
Like even with like Zayden and being all secretive and stuff, like you're frustrated with her.
Right.
It's because he's being so secretive and he's not giving any information when multiple conversations you need to tell me what's going on.
Exactly.
So,
and I think that's also why too, like I was so excited when I got the Christmas edition because it has like a couple of the chapters from his point of view and like now the graphic audio now has his point of view chapters in there. And it's just like, I like that. I wish we had more of that almost.
Yeah, I do too. I would have liked to see through his eyes, especially now that we're in Onyx Storm. Because, well,
you're in Onyx Storm,
but I've been Onyx Storm. But I mean, like Onyx Storm has come out, and I know that his secrets and everything are just kind of piling up now.
Yes,
and like more about him and what's happened to him and all of that. So I would like to be in his head.
Yeah,
a little bit at least.
No, I would love to. Since you haven't finished, you do get some other characters' point of views in this. I think there's a total of, you get a chapter from Rhiannon.
Okay.
You get one from Imogen. And then Zayden also has one.
Okay.
In the Onyx Storm. So you haven't got to that part yet, but you do get a little bit out of perspective from other people.
Okay.
I really liked that because it like everyone was in a different area when that all was going on. Yeah. So it was nice to see like what was actually happening in those other areas.
Yeah.
So it was neat to see kind of that stuff, but it just left me with, oh my gosh, I really want you to finish this book because I have so many theories. I have so many things. I'm just like, we need to hatch this out and figure this out because I'm like, I need to know.
I'm in the slow part of the book. And I have a hard time with slow parts.
I know you do.
I'm trying.
I get it.
Now I gotta find time to listen.
I know.
Because I live 5 minutes from work now.
I know. You've got this though. I believe in you.
I don't know if I do, but I'll try.
I know you do. But anyway, so like that was from like, seeing all the hype to reading the book, it was definitely worth it. And as soon as the next book was released, I was like out on top of that.
She was my hype.
Yeah. I was the one who's given all the hype on that end. So going off of, all the hype that we saw.
Yeah.
What do you feel like? I know you've said Shadow Storm, but you've read the first two.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like the author has generally like? What has Rebecca Yarros like nailed? Like, what is amazing about it? Pacing, cliffhangers, unique things that are happening in it. Like, what?
She definitely nailed that cliffhanger at the end of the first book.
Oh, heck yes!
I was in tears driving home that day.
So bad.
Bro,
I cried in each one of these books.
I think I have too, actually.
Because she knows how to pull at our heartstrings.
She does.
And if she keeps killing off people, I'm going to scream.
Yeah, the like the intensity of like climaxes
Mm-hmm.
are insane. Because you're just like I think one day I got home from my job. I was teaching at the time, so I had to commute. And I think I sat in the car for a good 5 to 10 minutes just to finish a chapter because I needed to know what happened.
Right. No, definitely. Yeah, I get it. I mean, even in my reread, girl, I knew what was going to happen. And tell me why during Honest Start, I had so many moments where I still cried.
I mean, yeah.
Because I was just like, I know what's going to happen. And I was already, there's this one part, you haven't got to it yet, of course. There was this one part, as soon as it came on and I heard the voice, I was like bawling my eyes out. Like, I haven't even got to the part yet. I'm already crying because I know what's coming.
Oh my God.
Like, that's how bad it is.
Now I'm scared.
Gotta read it, girl. Gotta read it.
No, I get that. I think I've read that I've still cried over, but I knew it was going to happen.
I know.
Like, I was prepared.
We know that she always does something in each book.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know when it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they hit hard.
They do. They do. She does a really good job.
An amazing job at it. I don't think I have multiple books that I've read where I've cried because of the loss of a character or something like that. I feel like, though, besides the first Crescent City book, where I'm literally bawling my eyes out, I had to put the book down for a few days because I couldn't pick it back up.
Me too.
But until that book, and there wasn't a lot of books I had super cried over.
Mm-hmm.
I was sad or stuff like that. But these books, I'm like, Chiz, lady, you keep making me cry at every single dang book. I'm like, we always get close to somebody, and then the next thing you know, they're just gone. I'm like, no, stop doing this to me.
Yeah.
I'm in my emotions.
Liam destroyed me. I think if I could have put the book in the freezer, I would have.
Yeah. No, I just, even listening, while I re-listened to a graphic audio, I was like, okay, you know it's coming. This is what you cry. Make sure you're not driving on the road. Because you know what's going to happen every time.
Right.
I know. But I loved it. I think the pacing was really well, too.
Yeah.
I feel like it was, the first one was more of a slow burn.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was done in such a good way of building it up so that when it actually happened, it was like an, oh my God, it's happening kind of moment.
Yeah.
But also just the pacing through all the books, it keeps you so pulled in and connected that you never know what's happening next.
Yeah. No.
It's always
not being able to guess or whatever. When Ding touched her.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh hell no.
Right.
He didn't just do that, and I never would have expected him to do that.
No. Exactly. It's just been it's very, very interesting how it's all done.
Yeah.
I think the cliffhangers are very much needed. Again, we do read Star Girl, that cliffhanger. I need to talk about it.
I'm halfway through part 1 of Graphic.
I get it. Okay, but if anybody listening, if you want to message or whatever, please do, because I want to talk to somebody about it. I am so I need to know. I need to discuss this with somebody.
Also, Brandon Sanderson really burned me out with fantasy too.
I know.
Oh, if you want to, if any man asks you to join the alliance of like fantasy reading, fourth wing Agatar, and then he's reading Brandon Sanderson, you're both swapping. Just beware, Brandon Sanderson. There's so much, and you will probably want to take a break for
Yeah.
a while.
I mean, understandable.
They're really good. They're just so complicated.
Yeah. Which is why I felt like this one was very well.
Yeah,
paced,
it was
because-
paced very well, and I feel like you can understand things
Yeah.
and follow it.
Oh, yeah. It's easier to follow than some other
Yeah.
books. So it's definitely been a nice way to do it. All right. So we've talked about some of the good things.
Mhm.
Now, is there anything that you feel like were like the cracks to the foundation? Are there anything that was like maybe there are gaps or vocabulary or choices or stuff that kind of you felt like didn't meet standards?
I don't know. I'm still confused on the whole Zayden being Venom thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure it'll be explained later or something, but like, why was that even needed? I feel like at this, like, where I'm at right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, okay,
Um,
why are we like? Is this even like needed?
it is. But here's the thing. I wholeheartedly think that it was needed. You just don't have answers yet. Because it just grows in this.
And yeah,
And again, you're left on a cliffhanger. So it's like, I feel like in like the future, we probably learn that I feel like that's what it's hyping up to, is like, it was needed for something to happen in the future.
Mhm.
We aren't there yet because we don't have the next book yet.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where it's like, we have to wait and see kind of things.
What? I need answers now.
Like, girl, we are not getting answers right now. Unfortunately, we just got to suck that up.
Yeah, she just posted and said she was working.
I know, she's writing it. So excited.
So there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. Eventually we'll start getting some answers, hopefully. I don't know how long the series is supposed to be. I don't know if it's ever been talked about.
I don't think it's ever been talked about
Yeah,
either.
so
I think
who knows?
right now it's just been like when I stop writing, stop writing.
Yeah. So. But I get it. That was definitely a character choice that I was very confused at first on why he would choose to do that, knowing what was happening. And I feel like there's got to be an explanation somewhere in the future, though, of like, it had to have gone this way for this reason. And I have theories around it, but we'll talk about that once you finish on its story. Because there's stuff that happens in that book, especially toward like the second half, that's like, I feel like there was a reason why this happened. But you're not told yet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And there's several things I want to hash out with you. So I feel like between our heads, we can at least get
make
things
a lot
down
of
and figure out. Yeah. Figure things out. Other than that, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot. Like, I felt like it very much just, nothing wrong with it. It flowed very well. It was easy to understand.
I don't think there's really plot holes either. Like,
I feel like we got mad at things, but I feel like we got mad at things, but it was like, it was necessary things that needed to happen within what
she wanted you to be mad at it.
Yeah. So it wasn't things like that she did wrong. It was like a very well done and written thing kind of thing. So going off that, though, I did want to bring up some theories that I have.
Okay.
Either read, they're all out there. Like, you've seen them on TikTok, you've seen them on Instagram. So there's a couple that I figured we can like talk about a little bit to see our opinions. So the first one is the Violet and Zayden mating book. So it's talked about and mentioned several times in the books that it was like a unique thing, like almost like how the dragons have mates.
Yeah.
Kind of like a bond. And like Xaden mentions it in his point of view in a couple of chapters too, where like something was drawn, they were drawn to each other for some reason that didn't feel like a normal relationship draw. It felt like it was like a magical draw.
The dragon emotions, right? Affect them as well.
Yes.
And Tyrannus and Gale are mates.
Yes, but he felt drawn to her. I feel like they felt drawn to each other even before.
Oh, before she even got dragons
happened. Because they were like something like it was mentioned, was it? Because it was like before she was channeling too. Like even after Thursday, before she was channeling. Like things were happening. Yeah. So it was just like, I don't know, there was like something that was like drawing them together that they couldn't explain kind of thing. And like there's a moment in Onyx where like Xaden mentioned something along the lines of like, I felt like magically drawn to her kind of thing.
Okay.
That will come up when you read it. So it's kind of like, it was almost like it wasn't just like a normal like, hey, we have feeling for each other. Hey, we have chemistry. It was like there's something outside of this working on getting us together.
Almost kind of like
a bond.
Like Avatar.
Like, yeah, like the mating bond. Like the mates kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's almost like what kind of could be happening here?
Well,
because we know like first of all, we don't know a lot about mated dragons.
No,
like they mentioned a few things about it, and like because I know Violet kept bringing it up. It was like, is this normal for us to be able to like communicate without talking? We could just communicate through the bond. Like, do normal mated dragons have this? And like people don't really have answers, and they aren't telling anybody clearly. Everyone just is always like, oh, they're having that like silent stare off,
but they're actually
like, really yelling at each other in their heads. And it's just like, so nobody really like, I think Liam kind of figured out something was going on.
Yeah,
abnormal too. Because he gave him a look like, oh, I know something's up.
He's like, they're actually reading each other.
But it's like nobody else knew, and like nobody really said much. They didn't know much about like the bond between mated dragons and their writers. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like, what is going on here? Like, I feel like there's like this whole other
force that's happening that we don't know.
Yeah, that hasn't come up.
There's got to be something. But I can't even think about like what I would think it would even be.
Right. Well, because that doesn't help either. Because so they mentioned that there's another pair of mated dragons. But it doesn't say anything about like their writers being connected.
And they have writers.
Well, the one does.
Oh.
Isn't it Coda, Melbourne's? It has a mate, but I don't know if it's ever mentioned if his mate has a writer or not.
Husband.
It hasn't mentioned it, but like they're there because Tanzok's out like talking to her to send a message to Coda, and like so it's like, do they have a writer? So it's like, do we know enough about mated dragons to know when they have writers? Like,
well, we can't even like. So Gale and Taryn can only be apart for so long, and then they have to be together,
right?
And obviously, we don't see that if that is the thing between Xaden and Violet, just them.
Yeah.
Because they're always with their dragons when that is happening. So, like, if there is, like, this mated bond, if they weren't attached to their dragons, would they also have to be together? Do you know the answer to this? You know the answer to this?
Not necessarily in that, but I do know how far. I'm trying to think where you would begin this book.
Oh God, their teacher knew.
Okay,
she got the book open.
Okay, so let's just reflect on the last book then. So like when they had leave or whatever to see each other, remember they kept, like she would show up there, but he'd have duty. So he wouldn't be able to see her. So they were going weeks without seeing each other because they were being like pulled off to do stuff without being able to see. So the dragons get together, but they weren't getting together.
I feel like, though, the dragons... That's true. I don't know. I feel like the dragons are involved somehow.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, we'll get into that one because I have like my next theory that I keep seeing about some people talking about and stuff like that is, do we know if Takaris is bad or not? So Kat's uncle. Because if you think about it, the villain always tips over where he is in Corden. He was trying to get Violet to stay with him and like was saying, well, I can secure your safety. Like none of your family will be hurt. Well, how could you guarantee that unless you had some hand in what was going on?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like people are like trying to speculate now. They're like, well, now he's king. Like, what's going on? Like, is he a bad guy? And like, Kat doesn't know it, and it's just gonna be blindsided. And so she's gonna come in later in the next book, maybe have something going on, or.
So I always assumed he was in on it. From that, did I miss something that's like makes it questionable?
He pops up in Onyx Storm.
Okay, so there's something in Onyx Storm where it makes you question.
I think it's just always been questioned. Because people were even doing after like Ironflight was like, well, how do you mention like, you know, that the villain literally always get the recording where he resides, or like he knows a ton of information about Menon. And so it's kind of like, is he in it or not? Because there's especially after reading on that storm, because like you find out, unfortunately, there's somebody else who betrayed them.
Of course.
And it's in there, but it's not even we care about. We hated them to begin with.
Oh, good.
But it's kind of like, so is he also somebody then to be able to try to thinking, oh, like I have the workaround because, you know, I know all this stuff, or I could be with them and then nobody in my family gets hurt kind of thing, or what? So I guess it's just like, about him. Like, we don't know. We know he likes to collect unique things. We know he, you know, likes finer things. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, something about him just is off all the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it just makes people question, like, we don't know as much about him. So, like, what possibly could be.
Okay. Yeah, I just went straight to he's evil bad.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
So we don't know if he's, like, the good guy or if he's a bad guy or what. So that's another theory I've been seeing people, like, talking about.
I guess it could be, like, one of those things, too, where it's, like, maybe not necessarily, well, not like blackmail, but, like, they've got something or have something that he wants, or, like, I know he's, like, Kat's still there, but, you know, just to easily explain it, like, if they just kept Kat hostage and he had to cooperate for her to live. You know, that type of situation, but obviously Kat's like not kidnapped or anything.
You get to remember she has an older sister too.
Yeah. So
that we don't know as much about either because she's off fighting the war.
Yeah. So is there like a situation with someone that we don't know about that's it? Or do they have something on him to where he knows all this and he has to work with them? Like,
I don't know. We don't know enough.
Yeah.
We don't know enough yet.
Because I guess I can see that being a thing. But yeah, I went straight for he's working with them.
Gotcha. All right. Next one. This one kind of. I don't know how I feel about this one. Because like it's like I almost don't want it to be true, but I feel like too much of saying things might something might be going on. But it's the whole theory around Brennan and like
okay.
So if you remember, they talked about how Nolan was previously bonded with Tan.
Yes.
And he always brings up every time she tries to bring up, like, I'm sorry about because we will not talk about the one who came before or whatever. And so this one's all about like Brennan, Tan, like what potentially could be going on. Because they're very secretive about Nolan, both of them.
Yeah.
Because like she even asked Brennan, and he wouldn't say anything. He has a rune on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
That she mentioned multiple times. Even in Onyx Storm, she mentions it multiple times. And so it's kind of like, do we think Nolan actually died, or did he betray them and become Venom to try to save Brennan? And then it's mentioned too, like, you kind of get this thing where it's like, was that Iron Flame? Mira had brought up that Brennan had been like either involved with or dating somebody a couple years older than him.
Yes.
And so we're wondering, like, was it Nolan? Is that why he was trying so hard to save Brennan? It was that who he was like involved with, or like what's going on there with that whole story? Because every time she tries to bring it up, Tana's always like, nope, we're not going to talk about the one who made before.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be something behind that. Man, that'd be crazy if he was Ben.
Yeah.
Well, not surprising, but crazy.
But yeah, so that's like a whole theory is like maybe he became Venom because he was in burnout.
Yeah.
Trying to save Brennan. So maybe that's what happened once he became Venom. Because we already know he's hiding something.
Yeah.
Because
we've always known Terrence hiding something.
Well, yes. Well, because like if you remember, he always brings up his backstory. He's always like, I'm Taryn, blah 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 blah, and like there was a moment. I'm trying to remember which book it mentions it, but it mentions that sometimes dragons actually lie about their name.
Oh,
and it's like, oh, is he the one who's lying about who he is?
okay.
Because I saw another theory. I don't know how much it is true. Like I'd have to feel like I'd have to do another reread and kind of like see if I could pull pieces out to see if this would even make sense. There's been a couple of theories where people think that he actually might be Malik.
Oh,
the god of death.
That'd be a freaking twist.
So where they like commend their souls to Malik and it's really that's him or something like.
Then what does that make violent?
We don't know. I don't know. But I've heard theories about this coming up. Like I've been seeing it on like there's a couple of TikToks I've seen or like Instagram posts I've seen with it. And I was like, I feel like I'd have to do another like really like in-depth, really listening, paying attention reread.
And that would make sense of the double bond too.
Well, so the double bond actually is because of the kind of dragon that Andarna is.
Okay.
Again, I don't know how far you are into Onyx Storm to know.
I mean, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Because she's like a special dragon.
Yeah. So like there's a whole thing with that. And there's so many theories around that too of what happens because there are things that happen in that book that again you need to read. Girl, sorry. Got to. Let me see. What is the next? Oh, sibling betrayal. So
sibling betrayal.
It has been brought up multiple times in these books that the whole origin story of everything was that it was 3 siblings. One bonded to dragons, one bonded to griffins, one that took from the earth.
Oh, okay.
And so people are wondering and have been posting their theories on, do they think then that means, because there's 3 Sorrengail siblings.
There are 3 Sorrengail.
So does that mean that one of them may betray them? And something might happen in later books where there's a betrayal of siblings.
Okay.
I know one person had mentioned, let me look at it. It's right here. Right. One person I mentioned maybe it had to do with Brennan. Because if Nolan did become Brennan trying to save him, would Brennan turn to be with Nolan?
Oh.
And betray his siblings for love.
That just adds to the Nolan Venom theory.
Well, and there's another, so that it's like a whole thing, so just like a theory of that. It's like why else bring it up all the time? It's like, oh, but the 3
siblings.
But So people are wondering and speculating about that. There's also a theory about the orange dragon.
Oh, I forgot about the orange dragon.
Mm-hmm. So if you look at the orange dragon theory, there's like a color theory on dragons.
All right.
So they say like black dragons bond to powerful people or likely leaders. Blue dragons typically bond to the most like ruthless kind of people. Orange dragons are known to be unpredictable, so the theory is that the writer who has an orange dragon are likely to be either bad people or have bad intentions. So Jack Barlow's dragon was orange. Mm-hmm. Varish's dragon was orange.
Mm-hmm.
So the thought is like, okay, let's note what other characters had orange. Amber Mavis, dragon was orange. She wasn't necessarily a bad person, but she had bad intentions of letting them into her thing. Brennan's dragon is orange. Nope. Let me break your heart a little more. Imogen's dragon is orange. Oh, no. Yep. And so it's like, could there be betrayal in the future that we don't know about?
Oh my God.
It would break my heart. I would die.
I would die too.
Because like that, I could not. Girl, you need to finish because like her chapter broke my heart. But plus, I really want to see her and Gary get together. Like,
Yeah, that'd be.
like we all know she's been watching him for a while, and like it's so funny. There's a moment in Onyx Storm where they're in the middle of battle, and she thinks about him, and her dragon is makes a comment about like she's like, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was because I just listened to it yesterday. It was like talking about like, they were talking about keeping score and things like that. And like her dragon makes a comment like, "Are you gonna do anything about that kind of thing?" Like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like it's clearly obvious. So that is a whole other theory is like the orange dragon theory. Like, okay, just orange dragon theory. Like, do that mean like it's honestly it's for bad people, but they could have a bad intention that comes up or things like that or
they'll end up betraying or something.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's kind of theories that people are speculating about. Another big one is about Violet's second signet. And the one that she gets from Andorna. And you learn more about it in Onyx Storm. But some people are thinking it's not what they're... Because, like, you don't know a whole lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's mentioned kind of like what she does with it a little bit. And they think it's one thing, but then, like, when Andarna meets her kind, they make a comment about, like, what she gave her. Almost thinking like Andarna gave her the power, but it's like, we've always learned that, like, usually the signet is whatever the person needs. Mm-hmm. But somehow this is like, Andarna gave it, and they make a comments about it. So people are speculating, like, okay, well, we think we know what it is, but is it really that, or is it something else?
That would make me question that too.
Yeah, so everyone's questioning about like what truly is her second signet.
Because I know the second signet has been mentioned. I don't know if she actually has it yet, though. I don't think she has it, but I know like I don't know. I remember a second signet being mentioned,
but it comes up more in Onyx Storm.
Okay.
There are also a lot of other things that have to do with second signets that come up in Onyx Storm. You've read the book, Rebellion Relic.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. Stuff is going on with that. So there's a whole theory around that as well. But I'll wait until you've read the book to bring that up to you. Let me see. There's also a whole thing about who Dane's love interest is going to be. because there's a moment in Onyx Storm that happens with another first-year writer, and it's almost like, are we playing the whole Xaden and Violet thing out again with a whole other love-hate combo? So that would be, because there's like a moment there, and so it's like a whole other thing around him of like, and like his love interest is, but also what is going on with him, because there's a comment that's made about him that somebody makes, that love interest makes, that we think who it is, makes about how does somebody like you have this much power?
I mean, doesn't he?
So it's kind of like more theories around like, okay, what's going on with him? I feel like we know some about him, but I feel like since they've distancing themselves from him a little bit because they don't trust him as much, we don't know as much then about him either.
Doesn't he have power that like nobody's supposed to know about?
Yeah, he has like a confidential because he can touch somebody and see their,
okay, that is
their
that one.
memories. Yeah.
Okay.
But like, so like there's things that have come up though with him where it's like, okay, so what are we all getting about him kind of thing. There's some other theories about some things, but I think they're dead wrong. Like some people think like Violet's dad is a villain, and I'm like, no, clearly I don't think that's right at all. Like, let's shut that down. That's done. Those kind of theories are some of the bigger ones that I've seen pop up. Now, there's a bunch of other theories that are out there. I'm sure people have seen them. Tell us below in comments and stuff what theories you guys either have or you've heard to add to this, so we could try to discuss them later on. But I feel like, you know, there's so many good theories out there. I just don't think we have enough information yet to be able to put any of these
theories together
or to figure out what they could potentially mean. Because I feel like there's so much more information we still need.
Yeah.
And there's also, it's like the cliffhanger that happens at the end of Onyx Storm. Like, I have so many questions now, and there's so many theories around it that it's just like, I need more information to know what's going on, to be able to try to narrow it down to, for some of those theories, like who the brother is, for those who know, who could it be? Like, we know certain people are missing, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of like, we need more information so we can try to narrow it down. Because I feel like it was very vague. It wasn't as in-depth to try to be able to figure it out. And I know there's tons of speculations and theories about that kind of stuff going around too. And there's so many theories out there. It's ridiculous. I mean, I could talk about it for hours, but we're not going to. That would take forever. All right. So, all right, let's move on from theories. We've done a bunch of theories. What are your opinions? Because I know we've all seen them on social media, like on fan art and stuff like that.
Well, I talked about this earlier. Xaden, we see him more as like a
we talked about that because we know he's not white. We know he's a person of color, but then we see fan art where they're like they portray him as either being like African American or things like that, and it's like I don't think he's.
But yes, the Tawny.
He's black because like we know Rhiannon is, we know Riddick is, but it says he has tawny skin, and when I think tawny skin, I think of more of like that natural like tan skin, more like the Middle Eastern descent kind of skin.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking and picturing in my head. So, like, it's interesting to see, like, the different fan arts and see what people portray him as. And it's just, like, there's some that I really, really like.
Yeah.
And then there's others where I'm like, it just doesn't feel like it fits the description of who he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just, like...
I wish she would elaborate more on that, because all she said is, he's not white. I've said this before.
Right.
And we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Then what is
it? Right.
So.
But no, in my mind, I always picture somebody more of like, you would think like the Middle Eastern like descent, where you have like the naturally like darker tan skin.
Yeah.
Dark hair. More like the Onyx darker eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I in my head picture.
That's what I pictured too.
Hey, ma'am. That would be Since they said they would say how similar they look. I pictured them as being more of that descent than anything else. So, but there are a bunch of things out there that, I like some of the fan. I like some of the different things that people are putting out there. It's interesting to see kind of
how
the
people
takeaway and how they portray things.
Yeah.
I was in their thought process.
Yeah, I like seeing what other people see.
Yeah.
When they read these books. Because
we're all picturing different things.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see too, especially with now that we know there's going to be a TV show. It's like,
where are they going to portray that?
How they're portraying that. Who are they going to cast as this to what you think it looks like? And so it's going to be, I feel like, a very interesting thing, what everyone's ideas are.
Yeah.
Because I know we've already been, we literally spent 20 minutes looking at different potential casts of what people think it should be kind of thing.
And
so
they haven't even started casting yet. So I don't know where y'all are getting this. This is the cast.
Yeah.
Definite. It's not.
No.
There is no cast yet. But a lot of their picks are pretty good.
Yeah. I like a couple of them. Yeah.
There's one. I think they actually chose the woman who plays Princess Buttercup, or she was the main woman in House of Cards.
Okay.
I think they, at one point, or not at one point, I just saw a video of it.
Yeah.
Whoever that was picked her as the mother.
Okay.
But I like your pick better, Cersei.
Yeah.
From Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, after watching her in Game of Thrones, in my head, when I think of the attitude and what, I feel like she would play that very well.
I think she would too.
And I would love to see her as them.
And then, as much as everyone else wants Josh to be Xaden.
No, I want him
Bodhi.
I think Bodhi.
He'd be a great,
amazing Bodhi. I could see that.
I don't know who I want Xaden Ryerson.
I almost would rather than pick somebody who is not as well known.
Well, Michael B. Jordan has already said he wants a cast basically that nobody knows.
Yeah.
He has already said the cast isn't even going to be guessable.
Yeah.
So
I must feel like that. So it's more of a shock to all of us.
Yeah.
So
because everyone's like, oh, they'll pick this person and this person, but in reality, you have no idea who these people are going to be.
Right. No, I agree 100% with that.
I like how he's doing it.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm so excited that he's the one.
I know, me too. I love
excited.
Michael B. Jordan.
I'm so excited to see what he does with it. I will say that I'm glad. I had 2 picks when I found out that when it started mentioning there was going to be a show. And I was like, if anybody does this show, I first thought was HBO because of how well they did with a bunch of my other shows that I love, like True Blood and Game of Thrones and stuff. But then my other one was crime. I feel like they could do it justice.
Amazon has done very well.
Yeah, they have done very well.
Adaptations
of things. A lot better than others. I was like, I do not want Netflix doing it.
No,
best of Netflix, but no.
Well, Netflix was good. House of Cards was iconic. But then it just went quickly downhill.
Yeah. And I like Hulu, but I also I feel like they couldn't do it justice with what needs to be done with the kind of show it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I was either HBO or
Amazon
were the two that I was I feel like they could do it justice.
I feel like there was something else that was mentioned, like somebody had mentioned a different streaming platform, and I can't remember what it was because I want to be like Peacock, but it wasn't Peacock.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I feel like it had to be there's only a few that I feel like could have done it justice because of how much. Because you have to think with the fantasy, it took so much to get in the dragons first of all. That's why I was saying HBO because they did such a well job. The dragons in Game of Thrones look.
Well, it's going to be
so
really
good.
expensive because you've got CGI takes up a lot of the budget, and then you've also obviously now yes, they go to locations still, but
Yes.
most of it is on blue screen.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I thought, because like if you think of, when I think of some of the other shows, like Amazon's put out too, like The Boys stuff with like some of their effects and stuff, I was like, they're the only ones I feel like besides HBO that I feel like could do justice with the effects that need.
Oh yeah,
They have what it needs to have to be able to
yeah,
to create the show.
yeah. Amazon's done really well.
Yeah, so they've been doing pretty good with that. All right. Again, we got kind of off track there. All right. So like the future. So as we're looking at the future, because we know we only have 3 books right now. We know that she just released
We're gonna have like 3.5.
that there's a half book coming out that is Threshing Day. I'm so excited for that.
I am too.
So excited.
I'm excited for like the bonus content.
Right?
What's it? So excited.
Super excited. Because of course, pre-order that, the graphic audio.
Sprayed edges, writer's edition, all of the
above. We are so pumped. But the one thing I wanted to bring up about future, because like we know everybody is like really, really wanting book 4.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I feel like there's so much pressure that's put out there when people are wanting something so much. So like, what do you think that pressure is? Do you think it's worth, like, do you want it to be rushed and come out sooner? Or do you want it to be able to have the time to make it how it needs to be? What are your thoughts on those kind of things? Because I know we talk about this a lot. We're in like those big hype books.
Yeah.
And like series isn't done yet, it's still coming out.
I feel like I would want it like her to be able to take her time. So that way we can get like the story that is supposed to be, not the story she puts out because the publication wants it faster, because the fans want it faster. I'm totally for any author doing that, taking their time and writing it, as long as they don't George R.R. Martin it. Because we are never going to get Game of Thrones. We're never going to get the finishing books of Game of Thrones, which makes me so mad because I read all of them.
Yeah.
We'll never get the end. And it's nothing like the show, so the show doesn't help.
Right. Yeah, no. Oh, no, I totally agree with that. I would rather the author be able to have the time needed to get all of their ideas, all of their thoughts, everything the way they want it laid out, and have a well-written book, than have them try to rush it. And it almost feels like one of those, like, because we've had it in other series too, where you read it and you're like, I feel like this was like
rushed.
You can tell it was rushed and it wasn't finished as well. So it's like, I'd rather give them the time they need to make sure it's going to be exactly what they want before it gets put out there. Like, I want all of those where we're coming up with theories here. I want to be able to experience that kind of stuff, not feel rushed towards like, oh, well,
she just threw that in there to make that connect.
Right. But I'd rather
it doesn't make any sense. And
I'd rather it be take the time you need to give us the world that we want to see.
Yeah.
That's in your head. So I feel like that is very much my thoughts on that too. I'd rather we get a well-written book.
Yeah.
And the way that the author feels satisfied and like they accomplished what they needed. Not where they feel rushed and I don't want them to regret writing something.
Yeah.
Because then it may tarnish the rest of the series. I want them to feel like I am proud of what I put out there. Like, this is my work.
Yes. I don't want to hear like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Like,
I want them to be proud of themselves. Like
the Harry Potter books weren't rushed, but she still today goes back and is like, oh, I should have put Harry with Hermione and I should have made this person this way. And I'm like, girl, you wrote the whole thing. Like, it's done. Like, it's over. You can't change it. Like, why are we still dwelling on this?
Right. So. But no. I'd rather, I want Rebecca to feel like she's very proud of what she's putting out there. Because she's done
her first series.
Amazing job at this.
It's her first series, too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty,
Yeah. Oh, you saw that her other book that she published is also getting a TV adaptation.
Oh, is it?
It's just announced.
I haven't read the other one.
But I'm excited for it. I want her to feel proud of what she puts out there. So I'm I know it really rubbed people the wrong way, or like people were complaining when she said that she was taking a break to write her other book or whatever. I was like, no, do it. She needs that reprieve. We all know what burnout feels like at your job. You need time to like step away and be like, okay, I need a reprieve. I need to change up the palette a little bit, and then I can come back to it. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. If you need to do it that way to get your best work,
well, there's nothing wrong with that, because
you need,
especially if you're building a world.
Oh my,
it's a lot.
I can't even imagine,
because you're making a whole magic system. You're making a whole different like countries and world, like literal Earth,
right?
And universe, and
yeah,
there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah. So, agreed. All right. So let's wrap this up. So based on everything we've talked about, kind of thing, do you feel like it kind of earned its fame? It earned and lived up to the hype? What are your thoughts? I want to get the cynic view first. The cynic view. Well, you were. I'm all hyped up for it.
You were all hyped up for it, and you absolutely love this series.
I do.
I love the series too, but I'm still more hyped for Avatar.
I know you are. We both want to.
I can't wait for 6 and 7.
I know.
But I think, yeah. I think it lived up.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of the hype looked like, besides it was there.
I know, because I was your hype person, so it worked out. No, I agree. I think it earned its hype. It's very well written, so I feel like that, to me, made it worth it.
Okay.
I love books. Like, I am clearly more of like the romance, more of like the other side of the spectrum. You know, I read all of my like different sports romance books and things like that, or my Omegaverse or stuff like that. So it's like, I'm on the romantic side. You're more the one who's in like these mysteries and like the fantasy and
I'm into serial killers.
That too. So it's just like, I thought it was funny that like we took different stands on this, because I was like, this feels more like a book you would be the one hyping me up to try to read and be like, but there is romance in it.
And then they swap.
And instead, I was the other way around. It's fantasy in this. There are the dragons. There's war. There's all this stuff. And so, like, I feel like it very much lived up to the hype. The fact that I got so into this when it's not my typical.
Yeah, you don't really do fantasy.
Read. I do like some fantasy, but it's like.
Yeah, you like some fantasy, but like that.
Yeah.
Kind of horror fantasy.
Yeah. I'm not
usually.
Yeah, it's normally not my thing. So, like, but I was like really into this. I think it was very well done. And I love my Shadow Daddy. He's amazing. I love she's, let's be honest, she's a kicking badass girl. What can we say?
Yeah.
She's amazing. I love my strong female leads.
We all love Violet.
So, all right, before we dwell on too much, because I feel like we could talk about this for days.
Oh, yeah.
So much about this book. But let's see, next podcast, we will be doing what we consider the Sun, Sand, and Survival. It is Vacations Gone Wrong.
Yep.
Is our next podcast and what we're doing about. So I'm excited to talk about that one.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned we have our books that we've already read that we're ready to discuss. So, all right. Till next time, fellow book dragons, you gotta keep your blankets cozy, your Dr. Pepper, or whatever you like to drink. Ice cold.
Or hot, if you drink hot.
Not too.
Don't forget takeout. Takeout is always good.
Oh, yes.
And when you walk by the bookstore, just buy the book. Don't look at your bank account. Shield yourself.
Yes.
Buy the book.
Buy the book.
You just
always that. Until next time. Bye.